Chicago is famous for its towering skyline and bustling downtown, but travel just a few miles away from the tourist centers, and you enter a completely different landscape. Survival on these streets is governed by a geographical reality with no physical checkpoints, an invisible grid where crossing the wrong street means entering enemy territory. This conflict is fractured across over 100 distinct independent territories, layered directly over the city's residential blocks. This decades-long territorial war traps thousands of residents behind borders they cannot see, dictating exactly where they are allowed to walk, shop, or go to school. To understand how tight these borders really are, we have to look at Chicago's South Side, specifically the Parkway Gardens neighborhood. This area is the epicenter of a fierce rivalry between the Black disciples and the gangster disciples. Decades ago, Parkway Gardens was a standard working-class community for families migrating to the Midwest, heavily defined by these massive, uniform public housing projects. But in the 1990s, the city began demolishing nearby high-rises like the Robert Taylor homes. As these towers came down, the displaced residents and their gang affiliations were scattered directly into the surrounding neighborhoods. This displacement forced rival factions to live right next to each other. A hard boundary formed straight down 63rd Street. St. Lawrence Avenue to the north became the staging area for the gangster disciples, while Parkway Gardens to the south became Black disciple territory. A walk across this single street became a life or death calculation. If a Black disciple ventured down 63rd heading east, or a gangster disciple headed west, it guaranteed a violent confrontation. Between 2009 and 2015, this specific corridor had the highest concentration of homicides in all of Chicago. This deadly stretch of Parkway Gardens eventually rebranded itself as O Block, named after a slain Black disciple. Through social media and local rappers like Chief Keef, the reputation of this specific block was exported to a national audience. Down here, geography dictates survival. A single misstep across the wrong intersection triggers a shootout. Decades ago, Chicago's gangs were organized under two massive top-down alliances, the People Nation and the Folk Nation. Over time, leadership crackdowns and demolished housing projects shattered that structure. Those giant umbrellas broke apart into a chaotic web of over 100 independent sets. Today, the violence is driven by hyper-local disputes. Shootouts are sparked by petty online insults, block-by-block arguments, and endless cycles of retaliation for local figures. The collapse of gang leadership decentralized the war, replacing organized territorial control with unpredictable block-by-block anarchy. To see what fuels this ongoing chaos, we have to look west, toward neighborhoods like Englewood and West Garfield Park. These areas once had bustling local economies, but over the years, industry vanished, home values tanked, and many homeowners couldn't keep up with their mortgages, leading to a wave of foreclosures. The physical outcome of that economic decay is impossible to ignore. The city seized many properties, leaving empty lots and abandoned homes. Gangs adapt to this infrastructure, repurposing unsecured vacant homes into fortified drug depots right in residential streets. This environment bleeds directly into the community's lifelines. At Englewood High School, 87% of students are marked chronically absent. For many, simply walking to class means crossing rival streets, making it safer to skip school entirely or join a gang just for protection. When economic decay hollows out a neighborhood and schools fail to offer safety, gangs step in to provide the structure and belonging left behind. Behind the data and the shifting borders, the true cost of this map is measured in human lives. The victims trapped inside this grid are often innocent children. In 2015, a 9-year-old boy named Tyshawn Lee was playing basketball at a local park. Members of the Black Pea Stones lured him away to a nearby alley and executed him. Tyshawn was targeted solely as revenge against his father, who had ties to a rival gang. These targeted killings leave deep, permanent scars on the community, marking ordinary street corners with memorials for children caught in the crossfire of this war. Years earlier, an 11-year-old boy named Robert Yummy Sandifer was placed in a household where he suffered severe abuse. Searching for protection, he was taken in by the Black disciples, who manipulated the young boy into carrying out a hit. After Robert accidentally shot an innocent 14-year-old girl, he became a fugitive. Fearing he would cooperate with police, members of his own gang lured him under a railroad pass and shot him in the back of the head. Mapping this war exposes the economic decay and systemic failures that allow these borders to persist. Until the physical and social vacuums in these neighborhoods are filled with something other than violence, this invisible grid will continue to dictate the lives of everyone caught inside it.